am a statutory. See no, fear not. TMG, are you there, my fella? Hello. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is MUCHENJE, aka The Advocate. I welcome you all to a program, The Youth Voice, which is brought to you by BHAZ, BHAZ Association of Zimbabwe. And today we are focusing on how the young ones, especially the youth, have managed to address issues like early marriages and drug and substance abuse through the use of sport, for example soccer. So today I'll be interviewing these young ones on how they managed to bring about this beautiful initiative, as it has been very effective, especially in the HATCLIFFE community. Hello ma'am, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm okay. So what is your name and how old are you?
I'm Natasha Malunga. My age.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, I'm 27, but the 7 is silent.
Oh, okay. okay. So, football.
Okay, so I come from an organization on the Design for Resilience, mainly through Kutizoni. As communities, we should co-design our spaces with the relevant authorities. So, Kuyapana Pababora, we are trying to also merge nego advocate for recreational spaces, that we shouldn't just have space reserved for this, but they should be functional, and also try to advocate chances as examples kuti how important is sports in community paku nature a young person and paku wunza community kuti bataniza tese. So us coming here is to support and also complement mama activities that no one echitwane Ministry of Youth, Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, and also Ministry of Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture, bano kuruzira and everything. So this comes a space and we can use this as an example, as a starting point to begin the conversations of what you mean kind of a recreational space. What do you mean when you say want it to be functional? Are there public amenities? Are the young people, the quality of the ground, is it nurturing their talent to be more competitive? So this is a starting point. My conversations are pertinent in the community and also other spaces, especially HATCLIFFE, where my open spaces reserved for this use as a recreational space are fast being replaced by other uses like commercial and residential units. So this is a space advocate sports, and also the coach and other relevant people who are mostly concentrated or concerned about access EMA spaces for young people in the general community. So we are here to try and echo a voice yekuti these spaces are crucial as much as Zimbabwe is crucial, and also have a network of similar minded people to the same thing, and also to stakeholders that I represent.
Okay, so when did you start and how have your experience been?
Personally, for Design for Resilience, it's been a few months, but as a volunteer, as a youth volunteer, HATCLIFFE, I've been a volunteer since 2021 when I was still at school as a town rural and urban planner. So from my experience, my activities are kosha, and anokubatira ku engage nema key ministries involved, and also my community stakeholders, and also we are trying to then use my sports as a starting point or a converging point for some key issues that would affect her as a community, like girl child, my early child marriages, the abuse, the gender-based violence, and this one was also themed along those lines in recognition of the 16 days of activism. So we are trying to then infuse in and capitalize on how sports as the power kuti bataniza tese nekuti unganiza, and also especially the young person kuti akwanise kuya over in a relaxed environment yekuti you can discuss and engage with them in such issues, my challenges are community. So that's my experience so far kuti my sports are power yekuti unganiza, and also to help us to share information, especially about drug and substance abuse, to vechidiki vedu kuti vakwanise kunzwisisa in a relaxed environment, and vakwanisa kutaura nesu vechiziva kuti they have the upper hand, because panapa bhora the teams ndo vakawanda kupfuura isusu vanhu vakuru, so they easily vane that thing yekuti sauro anga aripo, so they are easy to talk to us and share key information and stories dzinonga dzichiresonata navo, and how best we can all come together with my solutions anokwanisa kuzotibatsira and are sustainable.
Okay, so let's say in the next 5 years, what change do you wish to see?
For starters, tichitaurisa zvenhasi zvetawira, if more functional and more greener and designed recreational space in relevant amenities neinfrastructure inosupporta such spaces kuti akwanisa kuattracta even games ekuti we have the quality of stadiums or grounds at local level to host activities. At the same time zvinokwanisa kuti batsira kugenerata revenue at local level and zvotibatsira kuti even our local youths vaone the value, the economic value of investing in sports. So for starters, we want more stakeholders to vatenge kuisa recreational spaces per budget, and the voto are prioritized as a crucial space and investment inodiwa mu community kuti ibe functional and ibe sustainable and ikwanise kuaddress community needs edu. And then as a young person, I'm hoping kuti in 5 years time we would all be aware of what is recreational activities and how we can benefit from them and make money from it, and also link it to other pertinent issues that gender-based violence and climate change, and how we can then make those spaces and the sport be a voice or a way that we can communicate in environment. For example, we can have a sports for climate change, and then the value and have the grounds are necessary to help us create my events at even national level because nongatani capacity. So that's my long-term wish, and I hope 5 years can answer this question from the
yeah, it is
yes.
Okay. So have other people always say kuti vana vedu havaendi chakati, havaendi kwakati, havaendi kumabhora, zvinovakanganisa academically and maybe zvimwe zvinhu zvekuti havana kana support. What do you have to say?
I think basically such mindset, we are from a limited knowledge on the importance of sports or the exposure from which because my generations tasiyana. So I think that's where we come in as young advocates to come and be a voice of reason to my elders, because some of them they are valid my points you need to balance. So even emphasize even is HATCLIFFE Football Academy kuti kana mwana auya usauye kubhora usina kuita homework kana waubva panapa enda kumba and everything. So we need to consider these views ari kuuya nevanhu vakasiyana from a balanced and non-biased view kuti why are they thinking like that, and then try to debunk nyaya idzodzo and try to address them in a way kuti at the end of the day anoona the value yekuinvesta and even promote the use of recreational spaces nekuti vana vaattende, because zvimwe zvacho it's limited knowledge inoita kuti munhu ave that mindset. So tinofanira raise awareness and at the same time try to address zvimwe zvinhu zvinolida kuti munhu akwanise kuzoti aiwa masports akashata, because you find kuti mamwe mateam kwetiri kuti tiri kuda kurambidza vana madrugs ndo itori base yemadrugs. So we now need to be honest with ourselves when we're saying we need those recreational spaces to address this and this, and also bring along those people who are against it and try to understand where they are coming from. That way we can have a more sustainable and inclusive solution. At the end of the day, we don't push for something tisina kumbo tarisa the holistic picture of why that person is thinking in that certain way.
Oh, okay, thank you so much. So that was it from Natasha Malunga. Thank you.
Nokuda kweumbimbindoka haikona kuita chambaoka rume rimwe rikombe churu chara chimwe chitswanyi inda mazano marariranwa saka mazano panganai kana tikabatirana tose tobudirira zvekuganda